Since written examinations became an integral part of formal education, it has been a time-honored convention for examiners to receive and mark candidate scripts as paper copy. Receiving large packages of scripts through the post has been the norm for thousands of examiners for many years, but that convention is changing very rapidly. For the IB, it has already changed. Modern technology can make the whole marking process more efficient and reliable, providing both candidates and schools with a much improved service. This short film describes the IB's journey from paper to electronic-based marking, highlighting the benefits this will bring to all stakeholders involved in the process. Like many other IB diploma program students in over 2,300 schools worldwide, these students at Dartford Grammar School in London are studying hard for their examinations and other forms of assessment.
Lytic enzymes split because lysis means splitting.
Before we chart the IB's transition from paper to electronic-based marking, let us understand what the IB diploma program has to offer so many thousands of young people worldwide. The IB has been in existence since 1968 and is now a recognized leader in the field of international education. It is a non-profit, mission-driven foundation that offers 3 challenging programs for students aged 3 to 19 in a worldwide community of schools in over 140 countries. The diploma program is designed as a balanced and academically challenging program of education that prepares students between the ages of 16 and 19 for success at university and in later life. The program is taught over 2 years and has gained recognition and respect from the world's leading universities. Diploma students study 6 subjects, 3 or 4 of which must be studied at higher level. They must choose one subject from each of the groups 1 to 5, providing a wealth of experience and knowledge in languages, individuals and societies, experimental sciences, and mathematics. The 6th subject may be an arts subject chosen from Group 6, or the student may choose another subject from Groups 1 to 5. In addition, the program has 3 core requirements that are included to broaden the student's educational experience and to challenge them to apply their knowledge and understanding. The core requirements are an extended essay, which requires the student to engage in independent research through an in-depth study of a research question. Theory of knowledge, a course designed to encourage each student to reflect on the nature of knowledge. And 150 hours of creativity action service, which requires that students learn from the practical experience of doing real tasks beyond the classroom. Today's IB students frequently use technology to access and produce academic material. Within a few years, IB students will have the opportunity to take their examinations online. This will have many advantages, including cost savings, improvements to the security of examinations, and enable students to type rather than handwrite their answers. In the meantime, although students must take examinations in the traditional way, we are ensuring that the examiner experience becomes more efficient through a process known as e-marking. A process that is already having benefits for candidates by ensuring that all the marks are reliable and truly reflect the performance of candidates in their various assessments. As a result of e-marking, feedback to schools will become more comprehensive and detailed. For example, information about which questions were answered and where marks were awarded. This is the IB Assessment Centre in Cardiff, Wales, where IB staff process and deliver each diploma programme examination session. Staff at the Assessment Centre support schools in both the conventional and electronic submission of assessment material, and also support examiners in undertaking conventional paper-based marking and e-marking. There is a second location about 8 kilometres from the Assessment Centre, where the conventional paper-based material is received, sorted and processed. The receipt, clerical checking and storage of assessment material is undertaken at this off-site location away from the main office. The current traditional paper-based approach requires schools to send packets of examination scripts to examiners located in many countries. Although undertaken with great efficiency, this is an expensive and slow way of working. With a system that relies so much on paper copy being posted from one place to another, the IB does not have full control over the material. Working with an electronic version of candidates' work reduces many of the risks associated with the conventional approach, such as delays in postal services. To better understand how much more efficient the online e-marking method is, let's look at the conventional method and follow what happens to the scripts on arrival with the IB in Cardiff. Packages are received by courier from examiners around the world. This is labour-intensive, demanding a lot of staff and time. In 2010, the Assessment Centre received over 1 million items across both the May and November sessions. It is a logistical challenge to keep track of this large amount of material while checking every item to ensure marks have been correctly totaled, and that these totals have been transferred by each examiner to the IB Information System, or IBIS, as it is normally referred to. IBIS is a secure website used by schools, examiners, and IB staff. The barcodes on the answer cover sheets are scanned so a record can be kept of what has been received. Batches of scripts are then sorted in order, bagged and then boxed by subject, level, and component. Material is then sorted into different coloured bags. The orange bags contain scripts that have not been part of a sample sent to a senior examiner for moderation. Green bags offer scripts that have been part of a sample sent to a senior examiner. After everything has been boxed and labelled, it moves to the tracking station to record the next stage in the journey, again using the barcodes. For every script, the total is checked on the answer cover sheet to ensure the same mark appears on the IBIS database. Any discrepancies are corrected. Staff then check that on every script the marks have been added together without any mistakes. Other quality control checks are also made at this stage. This phase of checking is carried out on a subject basis and in the same order as the grade award meetings. Although it is done very efficiently, this manual process is time-consuming and does not have the flexibility or efficiency of handling candidates' work in an electronic environment. With e-marking, virtually all of these processes are automated, removing the opportunity for human error. This is a paper-based grade award meeting, where senior examiners for a subject are meeting to establish the grade boundaries for each component. Every grade award, whether based on conventional marking or e-marking, starts with reading the comments from IB teachers on the quality of the examination papers for the session. It is essential for every grade award that examiners have this information from teachers, so they are encouraged to submit their views using the Online Curriculum Centre, or OCC, as it is usually referred to. The senior examiners also read examiners' reports on the performance of candidates. These observations are a valuable resource at every grade award meeting and are never overlooked. For example, although the IB works hard to maintain the same level of difficulty in the examination papers from one session to the next, a few questions may have proved more challenging for candidates than they should have been. This would need to be taken into account during the meeting when establishing grade boundaries. So we have seen here the conventional and largely manual approach to handling scripts, marking and grade awarding. Let's look at the workflow of scripts being e-marked. The IB, in partnership with RM Education, have developed an e-marking solution that will see virtually all assessment materials marked using web-based software over the next couple of years. This is the UK Scanning Centre, just one location where candidates' examination scripts are scanned. Another centre is based in the USA. When the packet of scripts arrive, the labels are recorded. This information is then uploaded into Scoris Assessor, RM's marking solution, so they can be monitored throughout the scanning process. After package arrival, scripts are sorted and prioritized, so that a steady supply of scripts is available to be marked in all subjects. During the preparation stage, scripts are checked for unusual issues or exceptions. Additional items are removed that may have arrived with the script. Schools are asked not to include any additional items, such as a copy of the examination paper or spare answer sheets, but sometimes this is overlooked, so the items have to be removed. Once prepared scripts have been cut cleanly, they are ready for scanning. RM Education chooses to work with scanning partners, such as Syntas, who can meet the high volume demands of the IB. The scanning machines can process on average 10,000 images per hour and will scan both sides of the script at the same time, bitonal and color. Following scanning, important quality control checks take place to ensure that certain elements have been included. This can mean, for example, a check to see that all pages from an answer booklet have been scanned. At this point, the scanned scripts become available in Scrip Assessor, and examiners can now access them online to begin marking. The actual scripts themselves are stored for an agreed number of months before being shredded on site to maintain confidentiality. If necessary, an individual script can be retrieved, but the scanning process works so efficiently, this is rarely necessary. The IB first introduced e-marking in November 2009, and since then has made rapid progress in extending it to the majority of subjects. Here we see a grade award meeting where scripts have been scanned. These senior examiners are viewing scripts online rather than using paper originals. The e-marking tool Scrip works well and is easy to use, although greater efficiencies will be achieved with a new tool being introduced, currently named Web Assessor, which will be brought in for the May 2012 session. The examiner can mark by placing annotations and any necessary comments on the script. Before an examiner is allowed to e-mark in a session, they have to demonstrate their ability to correctly apply the mark scheme by marking a number of scripts previously marked by the principal examiner. The principal examiner sets the standard of marking for that component. An examiner's quality of marking is continually assessed as they mark towards their target number of scripts. Ensuring that every examiner marks to the principal examiner's standard will give schools greater confidence in their candidates' results. This continual monitoring of an examiner's standard cannot be achieved with conventional marking. As you can see, the meeting is not completely paperless, but there is no reason to have a paper copy of the scripts. Accessing scripts electronically means they are easier to locate quickly and can be available to an examiner anywhere in the world. If necessary, scripts can be remarked online whilst the grade award meeting is taking place. In fact, grade awarding can now take place without the senior examiners having to meet in one location. Their work can be done remotely and contact can be made by various electronic means. Whatever technology and procedures the IB employs, what matters in the end is the education of our students. For these IB diploma students at Dartford Grammar School, this is a time for celebration and thinking about their future.
Sam, 40 points. Congratulations. Good boy. Got where you want to go?
Yeah. Excellent. Well done. Fantastic.
44. You are joking. Remarkable. Well done, Tim.
With the consistent annual growth in the number of IB World Schools and candidates for the diploma program, the IB is constantly looking to improve the examiner experience of e-marking and bring greater reliability to marks awarded to candidates' work. The IB is working towards the submission of all candidates' coursework online. This has already been successfully achieved for theory of knowledge essays, and we are about to launch this for other assessment components in visual arts and for the extended essay. This change complements the way that 21st century students conduct their studies and uses their familiarity with technology to great advantage. Of course, there are many other benefits, such as reducing our carbon footprint and reducing postage costs for schools. But ultimately it is the candidates who benefit from greater reliability in the marking and the introduction of a more rigorous quality assurance and the processing of their results. The change from conventional marking to e-marking is therefore an educational necessity that is consistent with our shared responsibility towards the environment.